the ingredients of a truly fine organ? Many would agree that refinement of tone color is essential. Great names like Schnitger, Silberman, Harrison, Father Willis, Cavalier-Coll, and Skinner all had one thing in common: attention to the details of tone. These organ-building greats used every method available in their time to control sounds emanating from their pipes. For mellow sounds, wood pipes were constructed. For a brighter sound, metal was employed. It was discovered that different metals could be used for further control of tone color. For example, lead for mellow sounds, tin for brilliance. Nuances were derived from the careful blending of tin and lead. In addition to choice of metal, size and shape were critical. Listen to the difference between a small scale string versus a larger scale diapason. It was also discovered that vibrating reeds could provide a wide range of colorful sounds. Wood, lead, tin, reeds, carefully controlled shapes and sizes. These are tools that were state-of-the-art in an early era. Even today, goals in organ building have not changed. Attention to the details of tone is still paramount. What have changed are the tools that are now available. One of the most powerful tools available today is the digital computer. The marriage of music to computers is quite natural. All organ pitches and tone colors can be reduced to mathematic ratios for the computer to digest, and computers are known for their capacity in handling numbers. The notes you are now hearing are individually stored as numbers in the permanent memory of an Allen digital computer organ. Octaves, which would normally be represented as a ratio of 1 to 2, can be stored as 1 to 2.005. Such precision allows the computer to take on the warmth of tuning imperfections associated with mechanical instruments. Once captured, this warmth will never slip out of tune. Now, let us examine the results of computer-controlled tone color. You're hearing contrasts in tone color that are associated with fine organ sound. This degree of harmonic control, previously available only with pipes, is probably the most outstanding benefit of employing a computer to create organ sounds. To demonstrate the computer's control over harmonic content, we will use a basic sound found in even the smallest pipe organs, the stopped flute. It would be difficult to find a good instrument without at least one stopped flute. However, this simple sound eludes most electronic organ systems, which can produce, at best, nondescript flute-like sounds, regardless of names engraved on stop tabs. To sharpen your ear to this basic organ sound, we will break the stopped flute into two components: the fundamental, which provides body, and the third harmonic, or 2 2/3 pitch, to create color. Once the organ builder has established the most desirable ratio between these two components, it is then the task of the computer to maintain this ratio throughout the keyboard of the organ for the life of the instrument. The following examples exhibit a wide range of stopped flute colors. In the first, the fundamental is full strength with a third harmonic 27 decibels less. The result, a mellow stopped flute. Raising the third harmonic increases the stopped flute color for a more hollow sound. Lowering the fundamental brings out even more stopped flute character, a brighter sound. Now, a comparison of all three examples. Now we would like to contrast stopped and open flutes. A variation in the second harmonic creates the most obvious difference to the ear. The second harmonic is suppressed in stopped flutes but prevalent in open flutes. An open flute creates a heavier impression, whereas the stopped flute is more hollow. Here is a comparison of a heavy open flute. And a hollow stopped gedeckt. These stops will be played at random. Can you tell which is open and which is stopped? Conscientious organ builders offer a variety of open and stopped flutes, allowing options for coloring and interpreting music. Of course, tonal options extend beyond the flute family. The heart of an organ is the principal family. Historically, principals have gone through an evolution. Organs of the Baroque era had typically bright principals. Bach was influenced by these sounds, and his literature stands as a monument. Works of the great French organ composer, Vierne, were conceived during the late Romantic era. Vierne's work was influenced by heavier, more mellow principals, sometimes called diapasons. An example of a fine European sound, particularly familiar to Vierne when he was organist at Notre Dame, Paris, was the French montre, a medium-heavy principal. The evolution from brilliant Baroque to mellow Romantic continued into the 1920s and 30s. The tonal design of American organs became more orchestral. Lighter principals became even heavier diapasons. It was for sounds like these that many old favorite American church anthems were written. In the late 40s, G. Donald Harrison of the Aeolian Skinner Company did much to develop the sound of the American classic organ, and a reverse trend occurred. Principals became brighter and less heavy, although not completely Baroque. The American organ became more classic. Today, organists playing the Allen digital computer organ with an alterable voice card reader have access to the tonalities of different eras of organ building. Now, a quick review of principal tones in order of development: 18th century Baroque, 19th century Romantic, 20th century Romantic, and finally, classic revival of the 40s. Of the approximately 300 tone cards in the Allen Library, some of the most exciting are the reeds. Currently, there are over 100 reed voices in the library. We have made a small selection of specific voices to illustrate their use in a variety of music. Hymns with a greater number of verses allow a fine organ to show its flexibility. One of the most inspiring sounds is a verse played on the reed chorus alone. Many people have marched down the aisle to majestic solo reed sounds such as these. But to build such a sound, careful voicing control is required. Sometimes a single note on the solo reed must be heard clearly above full organ. Using mere volume or formant controls to affect brashness is insufficient for good musical results. Instead, voicing control over individual harmonics must be exercised when building the organ. In electronic instruments, only a computer has this necessary harmonic control. Where it is expensive to have large solo reeds and pipe organs and impossible to find good ones in other electronic instruments, Allen offers a variety of such sounds through tone cards for just a few dollars each. In fact, there is such flexibility that the organist has the option of changing voicing during a church service without even leaving the bench. Here is a contrasting example of a single reed in the swell organ versus the same reed quadrupled on the great organ. Allen is continually updating this tone card library with new voices, and as a result, congregations installing Allen organs continue to hear new sounds years after the dedication of their organ. Here are three contrasting solo reeds that have become favorites: a brilliant harmonic trumpet, the heavier scaled cornopian, and the commanding English tuba. Of course, not all reed voices are as bold. Frequently, romantic works call for orchestral melody lines. Here are two contrasting clarinets. First, a mellow wood clarinet, followed by a more brilliant metal clarinet. There are currently 8 different clarinets in the Allen Library. A thinner, more nasal reed, difficult to find in organs today, is the English horn. A prized voice attempted by only finer pipe makers was the French horn. Allen currently builds 4 different French horns. Here is a medium-weight French horn as compared to our heavier hunting horn. As a contrast to these warm, romantic sounds, Allen offers about 25 different Baroque quarter-length resonator reed voices. We have selected 3 tone cards that typify these thin, buzzy, and highly colorful voices. In order, they are crumhorn, barfife, and musette. All of these sounds, stop flutes and open flutes, brilliant principals and heavy diapasons, or a gamut of reeds and strings, are the essence of organ voicing, and only Allen brings you these sounds through careful and artistic control of harmonics made possible by use of a computer. Finally, when an Allen organ is installed in a building, the technique of finishing must be performed. Finishing is not to be confused with voicing. Voicing is the art of providing the proper sound for each stop, the process of creating the sounds you have just heard. Finishing is the process of adjusting the frequency response of the instrument to respond favorably within the acoustics of the building. Of course, no 2 buildings are alike. Some are live, reverberant. While others are quite dead, lacking reverberation. Additionally, the frequency response curves of buildings vary. Some buildings require a more brilliant upper end or treble, while others may need heavier bass. Here are the contrasting sounds of an Allen organ, first adjusted and finished for a brilliant upper end, then readjusted for a heavier bottom end. Notice the smooth progression and taper throughout the keyboard. While other organs attempt to approximate these curves by adjusting individual notes, Allen's controls always provide a smooth taper. Now that we've provided an instrument with proper voicing, installed and finished in a building, it is time to hear the results. The selections you will hear have been chosen to illustrate control over the subtleties of voicing.